G'day, Steve Morgan speaking. Australian Bass Tournaments with finally an ABT BREAM Grand Final champion, Brad Hodges. Couple of seconds in the past, mate, and you finally got it done this weekend. But you didn't just get it done; you got it done. You sort of a fair bit of weight between you and the rest of the field.
Yeah, in the end, but you never sort of feel that way out on the water. I thought 4.5 kilos would have it nailed down today. Anywhere between 3.5 and that sort of 4 was going to leave the door open in case someone really took the lights out. But
Mallacoota, you normally fish 2-day events in this joint. Now, by the time you have a practice day, this is the 4th day that this joint has been flogged pretty hard. I think the fishing was pretty robust. Guys caught decent fish every day. It's just those big fish made the difference, didn't they?
Absolutely. I think, I'm not sort of one to really talk about the wind too much, but definitely from maybe it was tide and wind. That's the wind often comes through when the tide turns, and around that 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock each day, things started to happen in the spots that I worked. Before that, I was struggling.
So if it was going to be a 3-hour-a-day tournament, you'd be coming basically last?
I'd have 1 or 2 fish each day, mate. Yeah.
Let's talk about your tactics for this weekend coming into a 3-day event. Did you have some stuff that you saved, or did you think that your spots you rotated had enough fish to get you through?
Yeah, well, day one, I just fished and things just came together, and big fish just seemed to mow down the lure, and things worked out. Day 2 was a real struggle, and I had 5, and then I upgraded once, and I'd sort of floated this flat. I'd done the left side and then the right side, and I thought, I don't want to do the middle, I just want to leave it. I didn't see anyone else fish it for the entire 3 days. Left it and then hit it first thing this morning, and there was not a thing on it, and I was dirty on myself for not
for leaving something on the table.
I should have just taken it apart yesterday when there was some pretty decent fish on it. Yep. So went back there at 11 o'clock today and upgraded 3 times. So
it's funny that we've had guys. I was fishing near Hazy up the back of and Hazy whacked them, sucked, and then whacked them in the same spot doing the same thing. Mallacoota can turn on you like that, can't it?
Yeah, and it often does. We often, in the house that we stay in, there's plenty of boys that know this water really well, and quite often the same spot will produce small fish one day, big fish the next. So you don't want to give up or run away too far, because the fish will come through at some stage.
Tell us about your current boat. It's a Mercury powered boat, but it must be one of the oldest boats in the field. How does it feel to finally win a new rig, mate? This is a decent payout for an event.
Yeah, no, I've been running my boat since 07, I'm pretty sure. So it's about 15 years. Same motor, and I think most people can hear my motor when you turn it on. She's got a few knocks and that sort of stuff. So a new tub, it's going to hit the spot nicely.
Tell us how many hours your old. It's an old Merc Optimax, isn't it? How many's it done?
It'd be about 1800 at the moment, I think. So
solid. It's time for a rest for the old girl.
Absolutely, be interesting to see just like the first couple of hours on this thing. It'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be nice and smooth. What Brad's won is an Alloycraft Bass Pro 463 powered by a 60 horsepower Mercury outboard. It's on a trailer. It's got green marine lithium batteries and a charger in there. I really hope I brought the charger along, but I'll get it to you anyway. But there's also $15,000 worth of Garmin gear on there. You've got a Garmin 50-inch force trolling motor. They're a brushless motor, really, really quiet. But you've also got a 12-inch sounder with Garmin live scope on the front. So I just know you're pretty dangerous with it without the live sonar. What about with the live sonar? You're going to be even more dangerous.
Well, I actually got that on my boat. But
you've got the Lowrance?
I do, yeah. But I didn't put that sounder on this weekend. I sort of got it for cod fishing and freshwater fishing and that sort of stuff. For bream fishing, I just like to use my eyes. And most of the weekend, I was fishing in sort of 2 feet or less, I suppose, most of the weekend. Just looking for weed and sand patches and that sort of stuff. So,
did you find that your fish were pretty randomly scattered, or were there clumps of fish through the weekend?
Day 1, day 3, random. Most of it was sort of over the top of the weed, so you couldn't really cast at anything. You just cast the darker the better. Whereas yesterday, which was part of the struggle from day 2, was they were on the sand. So I was fishing weed and just was not finding them, and I thought they'd gone. And I went onto the sand and had to change from what I was throwing. I was throwing top waters, and ended up throwing hard bodies and got like the crucial bites. So
let's go through some of your tackle for the weekend. You're pretty heavily sponsored by Pure Fishing in Berkeley. Let's run through some of your outfits and the tackle you used.
Yep. So probably caught close to 70 or 80% of the fish on the Berkeley Bender, which is a 76 mil top water lure. And I was running that on one of the new Rayrex, Abu Garcia Rayrex series rods. I think this is series 2 of the Rayrex range. I sort of came here about 3 or 4 months ago to sort of give these rods a really good run through, and I just really liked this one. So yeah, put the top water on that. I was casting a really long way, which was pretty crucial in the calmed out conditions of the morning and whatnot. And the rod and reel that sort of did the damage yesterday when things got tough. This is a Veritas tournament edition rod, and the Abu Garcia ALX 1000 size reel, I think, on that one. And the hard body is just the ProTech Twitcher 45, I'm pretty sure it's called. So, that was like the fish were pretty much telling me yesterday, top waters are not going to work.
Yep.
And after 2 hours of watching, probably 20 or 30 fish come up behind the lure and not one of them tried to eat. I was changed to hard body in 10 casts. Yeah, had a bag and it was crazy.
With all your experience, it took you 2 hours to work out they're not going to eat top water. We've still got a lot to learn, don't we?
Always. And I actually said that to my non-boat. I said, the fish have already told me this. They've been screaming at me like, change your technique.
Yep.
Like, we want to eat something, but just not that. So, eventually made the good call.
You've had a long and successful career in both ABT and Vic Bream Classic events. Any other sponsors that you want to thank?
Like Lawrence has been fantastic at providing the sounders, and I've got the Ghost trolling motor on there at the moment. And obviously Pure Fishing has been amazing to be involved with a company like that for 12 or 13 years. The Abu Garcia range of rods and reels I've used exclusively for that whole time, and I can't fault them. I use the whole range of rods as well, not just the top end stuff, but all the way down. So I just love it. So even line, lures, it was all Berkeley. Yep.
Got a question for you. Now you've won the grand final, got the monkey off the back, you're going to maybe venture up the coast and try some of these yellowfin tournaments? We've got a really good Australian Open and Hawkesbury set of events next year that Mario loves it. All the Vickies to come love it. Do you want to maybe expand your skills?
I would love to. And I have travelled in the past. I'm sort of, family life is pretty busy at the moment. So trying to find any time away is difficult. So 8 hours is how far I travelled this weekend, and even that's a grind, so awesome. Probably not.
All right. No, well, that's all right. Hey, at least a man that knows what he wants to do. Congratulations, you've finally done it.
Thank you very much.
I don't have to tow the boat back to Brisbane. It's great.